We hang out when we see each other, rocking and rolling. Danko Jones, how are you, Danko?
Hey, Ted.
Hi.
Great to be here, man.
Dude, ooh, man, as you can hear, that's my dog. You know, he's usually my lazy co-host, but I decided to leave him out there. But you'll hear some barking and whatnot. So
I'm used to it.
Yeah, you know, right now, I want to let everyone know you're my second non-metal guest. So my dog will shut up soon. Sorry, everyone in the interwebs, but I just got people coming over. Danko, before we get into some conversations here, I want to fucking play a video of yours called Full of Regret. And I want the fans to know. Here, I'm gonna go on I just want to make sure I'm live on Facebook right now. You know me. Yeah, we are live. So I want the fans to know who you are and who these people are in your video. So I don't know if I'm going to play all of it or a snippet of it. Let me see what I could do here. Yeah. Here we go. Let's do this. Where are you, man? I'm going to share my screen with everyone. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Here we go.
There's a man I want to tell you about named Danko Jones. He's been called Dr. Evening, Mocha Moses, and sometimes he calls himself the Mango Kid. He came from Carmel City, born a lion, a P-bone with a smile. Some say he had a soul on ice, but in the long run, he was alive and on fire. He sweats blood in sticky situations, but even the Mango Kid can be full of regrets.
Call me Danko Jones.
Gotta do a little bit of reminiscing on the days that just gone by. They say don't look back, but I take things in stride. Everybody wanna minimize, they wanna change, it can't be undone. I can see it's a recipe that I was least just no fun. What do you want from me?
Try harder.
Okay then.
Try a lot harder.
Haven't said that time to take it back. I got a few regrets of my own. She had a diamond eye, beauty all her own. Where are you now, girl? You know you got that special place. I always see you with love spits in my face. Regrets I've had mine, lonely nights and a whole lot of wasted time. If you see her, won't you tell her for me? It's better this way to avoid our misery. It's a little bit of luck, but a whole lot of hard work takes a toll. Most people don't know when they walk in high, they guess what's in store. I thought I'd given up and settled on the blues, but I'd always think of her when I didn't know what to do. It'll be my burden, didn't strike when it got hot. When she walked on, I didn't know what I just lost. Maybe she's out there and thinking just like me. What if, what would have happened, what could have been? Regrets I've had mine, lonely nights and a whole lot of wasted time. If you see her, won't you tell her for me? It's better this way to avoid our misery. Regrets I've had mine, lonely times and too many wasted nights. If you see her, won't you tell her for me? It's better this way to avoid our misery.
Where's Danko? Where is Danko? Now you can make this easy. Or it could be a lot of fun. For me.
Sometimes, when I think back, I wonder where it was that I lost track. And I think of you.
some fun, shall we?
Baby, who knew? Who knew? She's out there. She's somewhere. I'm losing my head again. She's always haunting me. I'm going out of my head. Regrets I've had now. Lonely nights and a whole lot of wasted time. If you see her, won't you tell her for me? It's better this way to avoid our misery. Regrets I've had now. Lonely times and too many wasted nights. If you see her, won't you tell her for me? It's better this way to avoid our misery. I'm full of regret. I'm full of regret. I'm full of regret. I'm full of regret.
Sometimes there's a man who, well, he's a man for his time and place. He fits right in there. And that's Danko Jones.
All right, bro. I just want to say, first and foremost, how did you get Frodo from Lord of the Rings in your video? That and Selma Blair, Lemmy. You must have a lot of money because we don't.
Yeah,
Dude, explain that. That was like, I was shocked when I was like, dude, Frodo? You got Frodo?
yeah. So the directors of the video are a team of brothers, Jason and Josh Diamond. And they used to be in a band called Puny Human from New York City. I think they were on TP Records. And we used to play with them all the time. They would always, tell us that they were in the film world. And that was their main gig. And then we were supposed to do another kind of video for that song with another director, and it wasn't lining up. So JC, our bass player, he called up the Diamond Brothers and said, "Can you do this for us?" And they just said yes. Now, what had been happening behind the scenes is they had already turned on Elijah Wood because they're friends with him, really good friends with him. They turned him on to our band years ago. So Elijah didn't need any prompting other than for them to ask him. And he's doing a solid for his bros. So he said, "I'm in." And once he was in, then we could pretty much approach anybody and get anyone. But the truth is, Lemmy and Mike Watt was the bartender in the beginning and the end from Minutemen and Firehose. We know Mike. So we brought Mike to the video. Lemmy, of course, because we had played with Motorhead. But Selma Blair found out about the video because at the time she was dating the producer. So there's a little bit of that. And when she found out it was a chance for her to work with Elijah Wood, it was an easy decision for her to be in this like music video by this band she probably didn't know. And everyone was super cool when they came down. No one was too cool for school. Everyone was really easy to work with, and it was great. The one thing I will say that surprised us most about the shoot, I think it was a 2-day shoot, was Mike Watt, because we didn't know if he could deliver the lines, and he just hit it out of the park. We didn't know he was like an amazing actor.
Man, dude. I mean, hey, dude, was just one fanboy question. Was Selma Blair as hot as she is in real person?
Yeah, she was she was really nice, really. She's a Hollywood A-lister.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Did Elijah Wood was he fanboying out? Does he know his rock and roll and metal and stuff like that?
He knows his music. I don't know if he knew his metal or hard rock, but we had like talks about, I think at the time for another video, he appeared in another one of our videos later on. He had just shot this thing for the Beastie Boys where he was one of the Beastie Boys. And so we started talking about the Beastie Boys a lot because I'm a huge Beasties fan. Like I think they're in my top 5 bands of all time. So I kind of poked at them for Beasties, Beasties info. So.
Oh, cool, man. That must have been, when I saw that video, I was like, whoa, dude. Because I love Lord of the Rings, and I just couldn't believe you had Frodo. I was like, this motherfucker had Frodo, dude. What's going on? You know what I mean?
Chasing us with a shotgun.
Yeah. And you got to fight him too.
Yeah, got to fight him. Yeah, absolutely. And so when we were in the middle of shooting the video, I turned over to Jason Diamond. I remember this. And I said to him, how the hell are we going to top this? Like, we can't, how do we do it? And I said, I remember, the only way we can top this is if we get the Karate Kid in the next video.
What a good segue, dude, because I want to play that video right now to everyone. It's my favorite Danko song, Had Enough.
Right, yes.
It's my favorite song, and you guys play it live. And it's funny we brought up the Karate Kid because I just binge watched Cobra Kai, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome. Both.
It is awesome. And you know what, dude? Let me while we're chatting it up, I'm going to get this ready real quick. Because you know how sometimes they have ads and whatnot. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Let me mute this while I get this ready. But yeah, dude, this is my favorite Danko song. And I'm glad I get to share it with everyone on live and streaming. And let's do this. All right, everyone. I'm gonna do another Danko video. This one's called Had Enough. It's from Below the Belt. Am I correct?
Yeah, same album as the previous song. So,
and this is my favorite Danko song, and it has Ralph Macchio in it. Let's check it out. This is the ending, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit. Yeah.
Lee Dorian.
Yeah.
You always think you're right, but when you realize you're wrong, you turn your head and pass the ball. Whoa, you're neither here nor there. You're never playing fair. Then wonder why you're always
There he is. The Karate Kid, bro.
You keep on praying, but things just stay the same. You fail to look and see that everybody's been waiting. When you cry at night, alone and don't know why, there's no one left and I'll be walking on. You drove a stake right through my heart. When you burned it out, remember what I said. You had your chance, I've had enough. 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 I've had
Bro,
Hi, I'm
bro, how did you get, hold on, how did you get Ralph Macchio, bro? How did you get Daniel LaRusso, the Karate Kid, in your video? I got to know this, dude. We want to know this.
Well, so while we were, like I said, we were shooting the video, and I said, hey, it was the first person that came to my head. Not because it was a joke, but more like he was that's just, how do you get Ralph Macchio? That's the only way we could top the first video. So when we sat down for a pre-production meeting for the second video with the Diamond Brothers, they actually said, let's try and get him. And we were just kind of like, come on, guys, I was just joking. It was just something I said off the top of my head. And they reached out to him. And I think the main reason why he actually took us seriously was his son. I think he asked his son about us. And at the time, we had a song on EA Sports hockey game that year, Full of Regret, was on the video game, and his son was playing it. And I guess when you play a hockey game or a sports game, you hear the same songs over and over again. And so he goes, Dad, you got to do this video, because I know that band. You should be in that video. And so that's, if not the main reason, he told us one of the reasons why he said he'd do it.
Wow, dude. Was he cool? Was he cool?
Super cool. And we were keeping our distance the day of the shoot. Like, he would be on one end of the table and we'd be off to the other side, and we're just looking at him. And he finally said, guys, come here, come over. And we just talked and asked him anything we wanted to. And he goes, you guys we all love Karate Kid, but musicians love Crossroads, which was his other movie.
Yes, that's right, with Steve Vai.
So he said, you guys love Crossroads. And we were all like, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So we asked him about Karate Kid. And, I have a lifelong crush on Elizabeth Shue from Karate Kid, the first movie. I asked him about her. So that kind of stuff. He was cool. And then I saw that we did that video in 2010.
Wow.
And then I saw him in 2018 at a comic convention that I go to sometimes. I go to these things, and he was there, and I stood in line with all the women who had a crush on him when they were 11 years old. They're now like in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
And I stood in line, and the moment it was my turn and I went up to him, he went around the table, gave me a hug, and everyone in the line that had been standing with me for the last hour was like, who the hell's this guy? Like, how's Ralph doing this? So he's really cool. He's a really nice guy. Super cool.
Did you do the Miyagi crane in front of him? I know you had. Come on, bro. Why not, dude?
I'm sure he gets that a lot.
Yeah. But you wanted to be cool and just say, hey, fanboy out. Hey, before I continue, Will Carroll says, "What's up, Danko?"
Will.
Yeah, he's watching it, and then we're gonna get to something for Will later on. But right now, I want to talk about this book of yours.
Right on, man. Thank you for that.
It's a really good book. It's the foreword's by Duff McKagan. He wrote a really good foreword on this one. I read it, a lot of it, and you cover a lot of spectrum in this book. Musically, Thin Lizzy, Kerry King, Kiss. I want to get to that. there's one, I want to get to this later. Cassettes must be destroyed. That's an interesting thing. But since this is live and streaming, since it's on the DA platform, I do want to talk about your chapter here. Was it a lifetime of fandom for Death Angel? Let's talk about that, Danko. Your take on, why you were flattered and honored. That stuck when I read. I was like, holy shit. And I do remember, meeting you. So in your words, my friend.
Well, the night that you guys were at the Grammys, was it January 26th?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. We were in Belgium playing a show in, I can't remember. Niklaus. I know I'm going to mispronounce it. So I'm just going to say we were playing a show in Belgium, and on stage that night, I gave a shout out to you guys, and I said, with all the bands that I've loved throughout all the years, there's always one or two albums or 2 or 5 years of a band's career that I don't really like, or they fall off in my eyes. But Death Angel I've never had that with that band. And then I said this on stage. So I guess that makes them my favorite band of all time. And I said that on stage that night, that you guys were gunning for the Grammy. And what was great is there was 2 guys who showed up in Death Angel shirts at the show.
Nice.
For me to see. And I brought them on stage. So, that article originally appeared in the Huffington Post, and we put it in the book because, Death Angel have been an inspiration for me personally, I think more than any other band. I love, the same bands we all love. I can name them. We all know what bands I'm going to name probably, of course. But, after you get past Metallica and Kiss and Black Sabbath and I don't know, Iron Maiden, those are everybody's bands.
Yeah, the heavy hitters.
You got to be deaf not to like Power Slave or something. So after that's been torn away, Death Angel, there's more of a personal thing with you guys, and it's been like that my whole life, ever since I discovered the band on Ultraviolence, which was also funny how I did, and ever since then I've tracked every album. I can't say that about most, if any, bands that I do that with now. When I was younger, of course, all my favorite bands, I would wait for weeks for the album to drop. I don't do that anymore. But Death Angel, I do. So, yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah, man. I mean, the chapter is really good. I do remember meeting you in Tuska, And it was funny because I was going to say this, but you beat me to the punch in your book. You were waiting in the lobby like a One Direction fan. I was going to say that live, but then I go, oh, Danko already said it in his book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember that night because we both, in Finland, we were working with the same promoter, you guys and ours. So he picked us up at the airport, and there was 2 festivals going on in the Helsinki area. We were playing different festivals. I remember that. So our flight arrived earlier than yours. He picked us up, brought us to the hotel, and then he goes, okay, I got to go back to the airport to pick up another band. And I just casually said, what band? And then he said Death Angel. And I think it was JC, when he heard that, and he knew how much I love you guys, he goes, oh boy. and I was like, you're picking up who? And I just stayed in the lobby. I think, if memory serves me correctly, and my memory is it's losing me now, but I think I did go upstairs for 5 seconds to throw the bags down and go back to the lobby. But I waited for you guys for almost 2 hours. Wow. In the lobby, just waiting till you guys came. And when you arrived, it was like, I swear to God, And I went up to, I think Mark was the first guy I went up to, and I tried to introduce myself, and I think he said, "Oh yeah, I've heard of you," or something. "I saw you on TV," or something. I can't remember that. But then someone, and I can't remember who, said we're going to oh my God, it's one of my favorite clubs in Helsinki, in all of Europe, Tavastia, to hang out. So I'm usually in bed by 11, man, for my voice.
Yeah.
I went. I don't care if it was like 3 a.m. I'll go where you guys are going. And I hung out mostly with Dan that night.
Yeah.
And we exchanged emails.
Okay.
And then I thought nothing of it. I thought, what an amazing night I just spent with, one of my favorite bands, and they were cool. And then I get an email from Dan like a month or two later going, "Dude, we love your stuff," and all this. I turned Mark onto it, and that was it. And then after that, I've slowly got to know all you guys except for Gus. I've never met Gus, but everyone, and even to this day, like we played Sacramento about a year and a half ago, or yeah, with Nashville Pussy, and Andy showed up, and
right,
so
John.
yeah, so there's always been this thing, and when I have a bad day, I always remember that. So
oh, dude, that makes us feel we want to cry, bro.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you something, dude, and you could ask me the same question because we're both fanboys of the band. Like, we've had this discussion. I've been a fan of DA. Even, we've had this discussion. Your favorite DA album?
Well, I got into them on my entry point with the band is Ultraviolence. So I guess by default, I would have to say Ultraviolence, but like Act 3 all the way to like Relentless Retribution, Evil Divide. There's moments on, that's the consistency of the band, even like more so now, even like, and then leading up to this chat, I actually went back and listened to Killing Season, which I haven't done in a while. And I was like, wow, this is like awesome, man. Like, so, but I have to say Ultraviolence just because it's my entry point.
Gotcha. I mean, for me, like there's a few eras, like the 80s era, that's separate with, I discovered them on Ultraviolence too, but I would have to say Act 3 in the 80s era, dude, because I get Ultraviolence. They were, the whole thing, they were young, the youngest band in thrash then, that album's so raw and so good. But, I think with Act 3, that's the album where they really honed in and go, bam, this is who we are. They perfected their style and their sound on that album. And from there, the band till this day could venture off and do everything, acoustic stuff, rock and roll, metal, that's Act 3 is my favorite album in that era. Like from the band, since the band reformed till now, it's a hard one. I mean, Relentless is the one that means a lot to me because it was like the changing of the guards. You get what I mean?
Right. With Damien and Will, of course. Right.
Yeah. Cause at that time it was like, I thought, when Andy and Den left, I thought the band was done. I was like, all right, then, it was kind of Mark was the cheerleader. Like, we got to keep going. Let's just keep going. And we kept going. So that Relentless has a place in my heart. Like, that album got us over the hump. You get what I mean? And we toured for 3 years on that record.
I'm so angry too. It's so angry. Like Truce is like, like stuff. Yeah, it was amazing. It kind of blew me away. Like I was like, holy cow, can they do it again? And then, like we're like 3 albums since that album.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like, you guys are kind of like AC/DC, Motorhead, Ramones, in that kind of tradition of like, this is what they are. This is what you can like, you can walk into this blindly and know that this is what they're going to deliver. I love that. That's what we're trying to do with our band is like the consistency of the AC/DC catalog or the Ramones or Motorhead is Overkill is, I feel the same. It's like you guys are doing that now with Since Relentless, I feel.
Yeah, thank you, man. I mean, we're doing our best. I think we feel good right now. I mean, we finally got to jam yesterday, actually, the first time in 7 months. All four of us had to be all four of us because Damien lives in another country right now. He lives in Mexico, but he'll be up here soon. But we finally got together after 7 months, and it was cool, man, just to see everyone. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just plugging in the amps and Will behind the kit, and it was a trip because I think it's the longest we haven't jammed together as a band, like 7 months. You're like, okay, woo, where do we start? So we just started to go through songs that we played on the last tour. Like, all right, get our feet wet and
nice.
And yeah, just to do that and reconnect. So that was really good, dude. Your book. Tell me something. Why Cassettes must be destroyed?
Because they ruined so many moments of my childhood and teenage years. People don't realize this, and I hated them for it. It's the reason why I just started buying vinyl exclusively, because I had too many cassettes that were warped. I spent hard-earned money that okay, some of it was allowance when I was younger, but I saved up for it, God damn it, and then to have it warp on me, so I would go downtown, and that would be like an hour downtown and then an hour back. And if I have a warped cassette, I got nothing to listen to. People don't realize this now with Spotify and iPhones and all this. You have every song ever made at your fingertips. But back then you had 10 songs to last you for your whole trip downtown, it would take me, I went to school downtown, so it would take me like an hour there and back. And that's why I would listen to Rain and Blood 4 times a day sometimes, because it's 2 times before school and 2 times before I get home. So like if it warps, I'm not only out of a cassette, out of listening to something, I'm out of the $7 or $8 it cost me for the cassette. The funny thing is, out of all the years I listened to cassettes in my Walkman, Rain and Blood never warped. It still works to this day.
Do you still have that cassette?
Yeah, I do. I do. Actually, I have it just over there. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, I like cassettes in a way because I bought demos back in the 80s. You know what I mean? So they have a special meaning for me, like.
That's a different thing. Yeah, totally different. But like the cassette as a release, like a commercial release up against a vinyl copy or a CD copy, it just doesn't, I bought Ultraviolence on cassette, and I was telling you in a text yesterday, I didn't even realize this, but I'm sitting at my table right now, and the Ultraviolence, the inside sleeve with all the 5 guys and the pillars, hangs on my corkboard right in front of me every day.
That's a badass photo, though. You got to admit, that's a killer photo of them.
Super badass. I love how Rob refuses to lean on his pillar. It's like so cool.
Yeah, he's one of those, fuck that, I'm not going to be like everyone else. Takes a lean next to Mark.
Next to Mark.
Mean? Yeah. So, but yeah, but yeah, cassettes, dude. I mean, the demos. I had demos. The Violence demo, the Killers 1 demo, all those. So they have a meaning to me for that.
Oh, same with me. Like, I mean, that's how we, growing up, we made our own mixtapes and stuff. I love that stuff. I still have a lot of that stuff. But like, to really think of it as a viable medium today is, man, anyone who says that never went through tapes unraveling, money down the drain, nothing like that. But
they're the new thing right now. I mean, there's a lot of bands putting out cassettes. I don't get it, but I get it.
Nobody's listening to it, man, unless people are buying cassette players. I don't know where to buy one. And I would never buy a cassette player now. I refuse. They were the bane of my existence. And I only bought them because they were like cheap. You can get a used cassette or new cassette for under $10. A used cassette you can get for $3.
Yeah. Yeah, but I get it, but I don't get it. Hey, do you remember that time when you came up on stage with us and sang Thrashers?
Yeah, man. It was one of the greatest moments of me being in a band and getting to do that.
The funny part, it's in our Thrashumentary. The funny part is you were tripping off the lyrics with Mark.
So awesome. Well, because I think you texted me and you're like, "Hey, man, you want to sing Thrashers tonight?" And yeah, but it was never printed in the lyric sheet, so I kind of can fake it, but I don't know it. So Rob wrote it out in the bus, and then me, Rob, and Mark, we all ran through it. But I once I saw Rob writing the lyrics on a piece of paper, my eyes just locked on wherever that paper went. And then I was like, can I see that? And I read it, and I need to read these to memorize. And then after that, I just put it in my pocket, and it's in the sleeve of my Ultraviolence.
Damn, dude, you're a fanboy, bro.
When it comes to Death Angel, I am, but I'm not like one of those guys who has everything. I have Act 3 on cassette. I have Ultraviolence on vinyl. Like, I'm not one of these purists, like Daniel Decay from Exciter is like, he has to have it in this format and this pressing. And I'm like, do the songs good the same? Then I'm fine.
Dude, your book, there's just one chapter here. I got to sift through it. I'll find it while we're talking about it. You dressed up as Vinnie Vincent from Kiss.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite guitarist in Kiss?
No, my favorite guitarist is Paul Stanley.
Really? Really?
Yeah, man, Team Paul.
Team
Absolutely,
Paul. But
man.
you have a fandom here for Vinnie Vincent.
Yeah, because he's forgotten in the makeup years. Everyone forgets about Vinnie's makeup. But he's this weird Ankh warrior that I don't really understand what that is. His contribution to Kisstory is pretty substantial. I mean, he wrote some real killer tracks for them. So yeah, I kind of dig it. And plus, he was always weird looking to me and like an odd man out, and I kind of like that. So yeah, I dig it.
You dig it, huh?
Yeah, man.
It's funny because I'm going to ask you this question, and this for my bro, Will Carroll. And I have to throw this out because I know he's watching. Will, you guys are both Kiss fans. What's your favorite non-makeup Kiss era album?
Lick It Up. Easy. That's easy. Lick It Up. So
Lick It Up?
Oh, yeah,
yeah. I didn't, I'll tell you about Kiss. I like Kiss. I'm not a fan like how people are, like they have to collect everything. I remember them growing up. My brothers had the vinyl and I listened to the songs. I go, cool. I even have their albums. But when Lick It Up came out on the scene, I didn't like it because they released, I think, Lick It Up as the first video of that. And I didn't like the song, so I never followed them. You know what I mean? But recently, like a few years back, a late night on tour, Will goes, you have to listen to Lick It Up. So after Lick It Up, all the songs sounded really killer. I just don't remember, but I remember going, whoa, that's actually pretty badass. I should have gave it a chance,
Well, I think Creatures of the Night is like their heaviest album, and then Lick It Up is kind of the sister album to that. Those two albums are the two of the heaviest Kiss albums ever put out. Like Not for the Innocent and Young and Wasted. Like Gene really, really came through with Lick It Up. And after that, it was like kind of a slow descent into like kind of sheeny, more glammy, sheeny, lighter stuff that never came. They were, you could say that about Revenge, but I don't know. Lick It Up is like there's no filler.
No filler in Lick It Up?
No. Oh my God. No way. Lick It Up is awesome. The song is awesome. I don't know. What are you talking about, Ted? It's so amazing to like figure out who was the demon and who was the star child.
Yeah, I mean, when, like I said, on tour, I go, wow, this is pretty good. I thought, there's a few tracks on Asylum, which was all right. I like Tears Are Falling. I do like that song.
One of my favorite songs. It's so good. And Bruce Kulick's solo on there is, probably his best he's ever done.
Yeah, and, but we mentioned earlier on the chat that you really like Hot in the Shade. you know.
No way, man. I don't even really know that album. Like, I don't listen to that. It's and Crazy Nights. Like, if Creatures and Lick It Up are like paired together, for me, Hot in the Shade and Crazy Nights are. I remember when it came out. I'm like, Crazy Nights, and the chorus they say Crazy Nights, like crazy nights. What kind of chorus is that, man? Like, even that, I was like off the train, man. Not really, but you know, I didn't really pay too much attention. So like there's black holes in certain bands discographies.
Yeah.
Definitely a black hole for me with Kiss. And then that goes back to Death Angel, like no black holes.
No black holes, huh?
No.
Now, going back to Death Angel, I have to ask you, man, you know, seriously, from a diehard fan, did you have any doubt when Dan and Andy left, like when we got Will and Damien in?
Well, when Dan and Andy left, the first thing that I thought was, all right, I'm ready.
You're ready to go, huh?
I'm ready. Okay, I'm just waiting. They haven't texted me yet. Okay, no email. No. It's hard for me to remember how that all went down in terms of the member transitioning, because I don't think I was privy to that. I can't remember if I found out that they were gone by the time Will and Damien were already instated. I can't remember. So I'm not. I do remember though when I heard that when I saw it was Will and Damien, I was a bit wary, like, because the great thing about Death Angel was just how it was always like family, and you know, it was like kind of like it was a family thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I was a bit, but you know, ever since they've stepped in, when I saw you guys live and I heard the albums, I was like, well, this is amazing. So, you know, it's great.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Dude, you met Robin Williams, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
How was that experience, bro? I mean, I know he lived in the Bay Area, I think for a long time, but I never met him, but I always heard he's a cool dude. How's your experience with Robin Williams?
I met him twice. I
Wow.
met him. Yeah. Cause in Toronto, Hollywood movies get filmed here constantly all year round. And Torontonians, we know when we watch movies, are like, oh, that's like King and Bay. And that's, you know, we know the streets. If there's a car chase or people are walking out of an office building, it's in Toronto. And so he was in town, I guess. He was just walking down the street and he was trying to be like inconspicuous. He had this huge winter coat on because it was in the winter, but he had his head down. And the moment I saw like the face, I knew it was Robin Williams. And we walked past each other and I said, hey, oh, wow, you know, I'm a big fan. That's all I said. And he just nodded to me and kept walking. And then when I met him the second time, this was at a comedy show that he kind of bum rushed the stage and they gave him the stage. It was an open mic night or something. Who's not going to give Robin Williams the stage?
Yeah.
And then he came out afterwards. He got swarmed by, you know, the few people that were there because it was off night. Nobody knew this. We had heard because a comedian friend of ours texted JC and said, come down here. And so when I met him, I said, hey, you know, I met you a few years ago and I always wanted to say, joke them if they can't take a fuck. And that's the last line off Throbbing Python of Love, which is his second album. I'm like a huge comedy head too. So when he heard me quote him back to him, he turned around and he said, that's a wonderful tribute. And that's when the guy took a photo of me. And that's the photo I think is in the book.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let me see. Dude, this is a great book, bro. I mean, everyone should check it out. There's a lot of Kiss stuff in here, bro. Right there, dude.
Yeah, too much Kiss, man. I'm wearing a Hatebreed. I'm wearing a Hatebreed hoodie.
Yeah, I mean, and this one, vibing for Thin Lizzy. You're a big Thin Lizzy fan?
Yeah, yeah.
And I could see your music is pretty heavily influenced by Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, you know, we've let it shine a little brighter than we had in the past. We concealed it a little more in the past, but you know, over the last few albums, we always have a song that sounds like Thin Lizzy. So, you know.
That's good, dude. I mean, your songs are great. You write good songs. They're fun. You know what I mean? They're fun, dirty, rock and roll. You could either go out and get wasted, or it's one of those songs where you can have a house party with a keg.
Oh,
You know?
thanks, man. Yeah, that's the kind of vibe we're trying to elicit. You know, the Thin Lizzy thing, I just thought of this story. Is like we went on tour with Motorhead, and it started in Dublin. The tour was about 6 weeks long, and the first 2 shows were in Dublin. 2 nights, Motorhead and us. We were main support. And so I have a friend in Toronto who does the Vibe for Philo in Toronto, which is like the tribute to Phil Lynott that they do in Dublin. He does it or he used to do it in Toronto, and he became really good friends with Philomena, Phil's mom, and his cousin. And he would go there and everything. So when he found out we were going to play in Dublin, he said, call Philomena. And so at the top of the tour, we called Philomena, me and our tour manager at the time, Paul, and she said, come on down. We took a train on our day off. This is like before the tour starts, the day before the tour. We took a train to her place. She met us at the train station. This is before the tour starts with Motorhead. We haven't even done the Motorhead shows. And she picked us up, took us to his grave, Phil's grave. And she said, you know, these are fans of yours. And then we went to the house. She gave us tea. She opened up, you know, the bass guitars and all this stuff, all this thing. And then me and Paul, we went back and we were like, this tour is going to be the greatest tour we've ever done. It hasn't even started. And we're like hanging out with Philomena and then pretty much that was it. We just played with Motorhead, but we had like stars in our eyes going, Bruce Dickinson's gonna come, and Brian May is a huge Motorhead fan. He's showing up to the London gig, and we had all these like ideas, plans that were gonna happen. But it was awesome to meet her, and you know, we were on tour with Motorhead. That was one of the greatest tours I've ever been on. Like it was we were like kids in a candy store.
That must have been fun. I mean, you toured with Motorhead, one of the greatest like rock and roll / punk bands ever, and you also get to tour with a different genre, Volbeat, which you did last year, right? You played arenas. How was that, man?
Yeah, they just I think they just uploaded a stream of their Hamburg show from last year, so I was watching it and I kind of felt, I haven't been missing the stage or missing touring that much during lockdown. I've just been like missing a vaccine.
Yeah.
So when I watched the footage, I kind of felt like a little sad that, you know, I missed it, because that also was one of the greatest tours we've been on. And, you know, everybody in the thing about the Volbeat tour and the Motorhead tour was the band and the crews, you know, treated us great, and we felt so welcomed. And so it was like, again, we were like kids in a candy store. There's no pressure when you open. You don't feel that pressure like I feel when we do a headlining tour. So it's just fun, you know. It's a lot of fun to just do your thing, and you get to play in an arena, and then you're off for the rest of the night. It's so much fun. And they would bring me back during the Volbeat set, and I would rise from the ground and sing the song that I'm on their album for, and it went #1 in America. So yeah, it's a great song, Black Rose. So I got to sing that with them every night, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
They're huge, man. They're huge.
They're huge. I mean, I like some of their stuff, not all of it, but they're nice guys. Michael's a great guy. We got to meet him a few times. He's cool, but yeah, man. And that must have been killer for you guys to just play in front of their crowd, man.
And our crowd are, you know, the two bands kind of line up musically. If you're into one, you chances are you could be into the other. And so it was a musical alignment, you know, and it worked for us. And yeah, Michael's like, yeah, he's a huge metalhead too, you know,
Yeah.
kind of like got his foot in rock and metal too. So yeah, it works.
Just like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And I remember Michael when he came to see us play in Copenhagen in 2006 and gave me his CD of the first Volbeat CD. And I don't know why, but I just remembered it. And then like six months or 8 months later, he's on the cover of Rock Hard magazine out of Germany. I'm like, is that the guy? Is that the same guy? I think it is. And yeah. And then ever since then, like he just shot up.
Insane. Hey, let me ask you a question. Excluding DA, what was is there a famous person? It could be an actor, it could be a musician that you freaked out when they said, I'm a fan of you, or happened to have got in touch with you or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's connected with Death Angel, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Kirk Hammett from Metallica.
No way.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So I guess the story goes Mark was hanging out with Kirk and he was playing our CD to Kirk, and Kirk loved our CD. And then Mark was like, well, I think they were getting drunk. And Mark goes, well, I got his email. And so I get this weird email. I get this. I was going to delete it because I thought it was spam. And I opened it up. Something inside me said, just open it up. And I opened it up, and it's Kirk, and he's drunk, and he's emailing me going, you know, like, yeah, I'm hanging out with Mark Osagueda, and you guys rule. And I think he said, we know who you are, fucker. And it's just crazy. Like, it's crazy. And so I remember, because I remember this so well, because we were on tour and we had a shower room. And so it was me and JC, we went to the shower room together. So he was taking a shower and I was out in the room waiting for my turn.
Yeah.
And because I always take long showers. Nobody wants to wait. So I'm like, I'll go last. So I was waiting. So I was checking my email. And so he was taking the shower, and I was pacing, waiting for him to finish. And so when I finally heard the shower go off, I go, JC, and he thought I was getting like killed in the other room or something. He's like, what's going on? I go, Kirk Hammett from Metallica just emailed me. And so that was probably a huge moment. Yeah, that was huge.
You ever met him?
Yes. So, yeah, we played Rock'em Ring or Rock'em Park in 2006. And after that, a few months later, we played Rock'em Ring and met him backstage. He's really cool. He played one of our riffs back to me, and that just blew me away. I couldn't even, I blanked out. And so JC had to do all the talking from there on in. I couldn't talk. So, yeah, I mean, Kirk, look, he's like a huge thing. He's a huge deal to me. So yeah, that was a huge moment. And also meeting you guys and meeting Ian MacKaye. So those three are, and of course meeting Lemmy for the first time. That was crazy. That's a crazy story too. So yeah, there's been moments where I remember, and then you just kind of go to yourself, oh, that's why I'm still in this crap business. Like that's why.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yes, I get that way sometimes. Sometimes like, what am I doing here, like on tour? But then you start to realize you meet people, you go out and play the shows, you meet fans. It's the love of music, bro. You know what I mean?
When I saw the footage of you guys finding out that you got nominated for a Grammy and you were in Calgary in the dead of winter.
Dickens pub, bro.
Dude, that when I saw that, I was like, man, that's who. That's yeah. I don't know. I could. I lived through you. I could feel it. Just because I've been a booster of Death Angel for so long. It's almost like I got a little bit of the nomination too. Like I was like, yes, they're in the middle of nowhere. They're not playing the arena, and put the Grammy nom on the pile of award. Like this is really heartfelt, and you guys deserve it. Like,
Thank you, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
You deserved it. And I was hoping, because I was trying to watch the stream backstage before our gig. I was trying to watch the stream to see if you guys win it.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd win it. So,
Yeah, it's I'm stoked on it. Yeah, I mean, we're stoked on it. But going to the Grammys was a trip, dude. It's we got all suited up. It's nice, and it I don't know. It's a trip. One of these days when we get to see each other, I'll give you in-depth detail of how it felt. You'll probably go, really, man? But we actually got to go to they had 2 separate ceremonies. We were in the early ceremony, then we got to see the big ceremony with Aerosmith, Billie Eilish, and all that. And that was all right. I was more interested in how they did the set changes when they went to commercial. I was like, oh, that's how they do that shit. That's pretty cool, man. Other than that, but you couldn't have alcohol during the Grammys. It was just bottled water, dude. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was cool. On the Metallica topic, what's your favorite album from them?
It's a toss-up between Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets. But I think I like the production of Master a little better, and the songs. Because Master's basically like they came up with the formula on Ride, and I think they perfected it on Master. So I'd say Master.
Yeah, I would say Master too, because I've been a fan since Kill 'Em All, but I saw them on Master, so that has that that connection. If I would have saw him on Ride, it'd be a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like Ride's just as, I don't know, Ride's just as good, I guess.
Yeah, I remember that show in the 80s. It was Metallica, Armored Saint, Death Angel. I was too young to go. My mom wouldn't let me out of the house. And I was like, dude, that's such a killer show too. 2 nights. You know what I mean?
I have so many of those moments where I was too young, or my mom just didn't let me, and I wasn't too young, but I was all ages, but she didn't let me, or it was on a school night. That was why I couldn't go.
Exactly. School night, or you're too young. But dude, everyone should get this book. Danko Jones, I Got Something to Say. Who distributed it? Where can you get it, Danko?
Right. So that's a story too, is like it's on Feral House, and Feral House is like one of my favorite imprints. They put out all the cool books. So it's like being on a record label, being on a cool label for in the world of books. For me, Feral House puts out all these crazy books on Satan and alternative cooking, and they put out the Harley Flanagan autobiography. Okay. They put out Choosing Death, the story of death metal. They put out, oh my God, so many other that I can't, for some reason, can't remember. But there's like so many great music books as well. So it's an honor to be part of the Feral House family. And Adam Parfrey, he passed away. The founder of the Feral House, he passed away kind of on the eve of my book's release. So his emails to me actually mean a lot more. I never got to meet him, but he sent me an email and he said, "Welcome to the Feral House family." And that is one of the, it's kind of like, meeting Death Angel or meeting Kirk or Lemmy or Ian MacKaye. It was on that level to me. So, it's like a validation of a distinction because it's such a cool outsider book publishing company. And I think they call themselves the most dangerous book publishers in the world or something. So to be part of that group of books is, it's real cool for me.
That's awesome, dude. But I just want to tell the fans too, Killing Season, Death Angel's, record, wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you, bro. You're the one that introduced us to Nick Raskulinecz, and you were recording your record with him while we were writing Killing Season. And we didn't know who was going to record or produce the record. But I mean, I want to ask you, how was it like recording with Nick?
It's a learning experience. We did it like you guys did, at Dave Grohl's studio.
Yeah.
In 606 Studios.
Did you meet him? Did you meet Dave Grohl?
Yeah, we met him. Did you guys?
He passed. He was like in and out. Him and Taylor. Like
right.
he was just in there like a little kid. Hey, what's up, man? Like, holy shit. But before you go, what I remember about the studio, it's a bad as fuck studio, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He had a couple of old school video games. You walk down this hallway. He had all that platinum records of everything he's done. The
Crazy.
video was it? I think it was I don't know if it was Galaga or Tempest at the end of the hall, where I spent most of my time playing video games. In that back room, he had nothing but drums and amps. But yeah, man, it was a good recording experience for us with Nick. So you probably had the same experience.
Oh yeah. And Nick is like one of the funniest dudes to hang out with. Like he's, crying over some of the times we hung out together. And he's like a huge guy. He's like done Foo Fighters, Velvet Revolver, Rush. He just finished the Rush album, Alice in Chains. Yeah. So I was hanging out there, like it was, I think we were in pre-pro. So we did pre-production at the studio in the live room. And I showed up one day wearing a Death Angel hoodie. And he was like, he freaked out. He was like, Death Angel, you like Death Angel, man? Because, our music doesn't lend itself to, like, he didn't know I was like into metal. Yeah. And I go, do I love Death Angel? So we just went back and forth about Death Angel. So I emailed Den right away. I go, I'm sitting in Dave Grohl's studio with his producer who is freaking out about you guys. And I think that just started the ball rolling from there. And it was really cool. Like you guys took it from there. I just told you guys about his love for you, and then I told him about you guys and how we knew each other, and then I got a call from Rob, like I think right before you guys were going into the studio, thanking me, which I thought was like the coolest thing ever. Like I remember when I think Rob called me twice, and the first time he called me, when I realized it was Rob, I think I just was like I was with her, and I just walked out. I'm like, don't bother me. This is super important. And so, no, it was like that. I'm just happy you guys were able to do it there. And it was awesome, man.
I mean, that wicked recording with Nick was really, it was a great experience. I never experienced anything like that. I mean, we did pre-production with him in the small room. He was going over the songs.
That's where we did it too. Yeah.
Right. He goes, all right, man, that's good. Then we started recording, and I remember I was there for Andy's tracking, and Andy did some amazing takes, and he was like, all right, man, he's warming up. I go, and I remember Rob goes, warming up? Like he was pushing everyone to the fullest. It was like, he was there, just him and Fig. I think that's his name. Yeah. He was they were just going at it.
The two of them together are the funniest, man. Yeah.
So,
I wanted to go down and check out the sessions, man.
Danko, I'm giving you the floor, dude. You had some stuff you want to talk about, right?
Well, I mean, I think we hit it. We hit everything, like the Killing Season, and I wanted to touch base about the Grammy nomination and about us playing that night in Belgium and Nicholas. That's where we played. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I have this. I pulled this out of the.
Oh, look at that! You got it signed by all of them except Gus, right?
Nope.
Look at
Gus.
that, dude.
Wearing a Cro-Mag shirt. So the story about this is like, this is $5, man. And I was doing that's like $25 now. That's like $5. Anyways, so I went down to the Death Angel autograph session when I was in grade 10 and met the guys. And Mark even said this on stage, like Andy and Mark made fun of me because I showed up in my school uniform because I went to an all boys school, and they busted on my uniform, rightfully so. Like everyone's dressed in their like Thrasher threads, and I'm wearing a tie. I didn't even take it off. Like that's how much of a nerd I was. Like, hey, dude, be cool, man. Like, take off your school tie. No, I didn't do that. I wore the tie and the jacket, like, and they just busted on me, and I felt embarrassed, but that didn't stop me from loving the band, continuing on loving the band. And then when Mark told that story, when I sang Thrashers with you guys on stage in Toronto, I kind of felt like it was like full circle.
Yeah,
like,
at the Opera House.
At the Opera House.
Yeah.
And I think he even like said, well, we're real sorry about like making fun of this dude. Like something like that. I can't remember, but it felt cool like to do that. Yeah, like I remember when they got out, the same thing when I met him when I met you guys in Finland at Helsinki, like when they got out of the car in Toronto for when I was like waiting for the autograph session, when they came out, like I was like, holy cow. The first guy I saw was Rob, and in my mind's eye, Rob's like 8 feet tall to me, because I was just like, he got out of the cab and I was like, holy cow, that's Rob Cavastani, man.
You're like,
so yeah,
you're geeking out.
I was totally geeking out, and I didn't even, man. If I could do it again, I'd take the tie off.
No, dude, you couldn't. No, that probably changed the course of history. I wouldn't be here talking to you right now.
Yeah, you're right, man.
How that is, right? Right?
Yeah.
So, but dude, you ever thought you're rock and roller, one of my favorite rock and rollers, alongside with Hardcore Superstars, which I really dig.
Oh, those guys are great. We played shows with them. Yeah. And it's a trip, you have the style of rock and roll, but you love metal, and we play in a metal band, but we love rock and roll. It's a good cross thing, You ever thought of starting a metal project? How Dave Grohl did like Probot and all that? Yeah, I wanted to years ago. I just don't have the chops, man. I don't.
You can do it, dude. You can do it, bro.
Well, I had all these riffs too, man. I had all these riffs, and I was going to do a Probot thing where I get each song has a different guy doing a solo. So I asked 3 guys and they said yes, but I felt I couldn't pull it off. So I dropped the project, but I'd love to. I'd love to sing in a metal band. I could sing in a metal band because when you're playing those videos, like our videos, I was listening. I wasn't watching the videos as much as I was listening to my vocals, and I can kill those vocals now, but they are what they are. But I could do like metal. I can sing metal better than I thought I could back then. So,
well, I have to say, man, me and you did a playthrough, Slayer's Mandatory Suicide with Daniel Decay from Exciter.
Yeah,
and I thought you killed it, dude.
Thanks, man.
I thought you killed it, man. You look hella scary. You look hella into it. You were like rocking out, dude. That was fun to do, bro.
It was great to do it with you and Daniel, like 2 guys that I'd love to just do something with, if we can't hit the road in a band, like this is a great time to do stuff with people you like and you want to jam with. And Daniel and you are 2 guys that I feel that way about. So
right on, man.
Very fulfilling.
I know when Daniel reached out to me, hey, do a Mandatory Suicide. I go, yeah, I'll do it with you. He goes, Danko singing. I go, all right, man. And the way your take on it was really cool, man. I dig it. I totally dig it. Fucking Danko Jones, bro. Come on, man.
But you look so cool in the video too, man. Like super cool.
We all look cool.
Just laid back. Yeah.
We all look cool, bro. Come on.
It was really cool. I like that. I really like that. And I've only done it twice during lockdown, like these quarantine jams. But
You did Sepultura, right?
I did Sepultura, and that was like, man, when Andreas Kisser asks you what Sepultura song you want to do, I ran around my place. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what to choose. Like, I was like, I was laughing out of like sheer excitement. And the song that I chose, I'm so glad I chose, because it was a Sepul Nation, and that's a Derek Green song, and I wanted to sing it with Derek. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But I had Andreas on my live stream.
Yeah, that's right.
And I opened up the show with, dude, I want to talk about Beneath the Remains, because that was the album. Because I told him, like, back then when that came out, I knew of thrash metal of like the West Coast, the East Coast, and Europe. But when Beneath the Remains came out, it was so good. But what freaked me out, it was from Brazil. I go, hey man, the only thing I know about Brazil was in the like social studies class or something. You know? But it was like the album, like, this is the album that, hey man, we want to be part of the fraternity of thrash. Here you go. And that's an incredible album, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's my favorite one. Stronger Than Hate is like. And Max was like a Hetfield Jr. to me.
Yeah,
back then
they were insane, dude. Dude, do you like glam metal?
Yeah, man, I love glam metal. Like,
let's get into this real quick.
Love them, love it.
What? Throw out some band names, and we'll go back and forth here, bro.
Where do you want to start? Rat.
No,
I mean,
Rat's a good one. I like Rat.
I love Rat.
Do you like do you like Faster Pussycat?
Oh, first album is a classic. Stone Cold, man. Stone Cold classic.
Bang Tango?
Oh man, I love Bang Tango. That album, that first album.
Okay.
The first album. I know the first album. That's what I know.
Dancing on Coals is my favorite. It's hella musical, dude. You got to check it out. But
yeah. The first Bang Tango album is what I know, and I had it on vinyl actually back in the day. I actually had it, and there's someone I met online who I think did the Bang Tango documentary that you could see online, and then I was passing messages onto the lead singer Joe. Was his name Joe?
Joe Lestat.
Joe Lestat, and we were going back and forth through this guy.
Wow.
See, that was cool. Love Bang Tango. Cinderella, man, Night Songs.
Dude, they still sound good live.
Tom Kiefer, he's in his own thing, the Tom Kiefer band.
Yeah.
And he's such a great singer.
He is.
Such a great singer.
Great singer, great songwriter. Now that we're covering the spectrum of like rock, metal, glam, your vinyl collection covers a lot. What really freaked me out, dude, on your Instagram, you have a Burt Reynolds vinyl.
Yeah, so I've been doing this for years quietly. I collect more kitschy, cheesy records than actual real records now. I don't really collect too much real records. I'm always on the search for weird records. And yeah, Burt Reynolds, I had his full length. I just don't know where it is. He came out with a full length album. I had it. I just can't find it. I lost a few of these. I don't know where. But yeah, I even have an Instagram account, Next Level Record Collecting, on Instagram, and I post all these weird records that I have. And I always collected them. And we were in the studio one day, and I started talking to the engineers about it. Like, do you know I have the I don't know, Don Knotts album, and I have
Don Knotts.
Yeah, I have An Evening With, and I have this album by this person and I have this record. And then I said I should show these off. So that was 4 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since.
Do you listen to them, or do you just collect them to collect them?
Both. I'm not I don't listen to them like a real record. But I also collect them to collect them, just to have. Like, this is nuts. Like, I have the Barbie doll party album. Like, it's the Barbie, Barbie the doll.
Yeah.
they put out a kids record, Barbie Party, and it's her disco dancing. I'm not going to listen to it at home, but I need to own it.
Gotcha. So do you have Pac-Man?
Yes, Pac-Man. I also have Pac-Man Fever.
Yes. Wow,
And I have
dude.
Pac-Man Stories. And I also have the 7-inch, the Pac-Man 7-inch of stories.
So how many records do you have vinyl?
I don't have a lot. I have like 1,200, 1,500, but I'm actually selling a lot. I've managed to sell almost 100 records during lockdown.
Wow.
I'm trying to ease it down. Like some good records that were worth a lot on Discogs, but they're not worth a lot to me. Like I don't care how much a record's worth. I just want to own it because it means something to me, not because it's expensive or it's valuable to someone else. Like it's like I recently sold like Color and Shape, like the Foo Fighters first pressing on double vinyl. It's like $150 on Discogs, medium price, and I don't want it.
You're gonna regret it.
No,
You're gonna regret it.
I'm not, man. But if I sold my Laz Rocket Know Your Enemy on vinyl, I'd regret that.
Wow, you're going old school, dude. Last Rocket. Hey, bro. Since we're in a lockdown, is Danko Jones plan to do any like sort of live stream?
No,
No.
I don't think so. Like, ask me again in 2021. But you guys are, and
Yes.
and I think you guys are doing it the right way because it's a known thing, that's a tradition, and it's good. And me not living in San Francisco, I know about it. So
Yeah.
you have this traditional thing, whereas we don't have anything like that, and it would just be a show. And we're also like a live, like I do a lot of banter with the audience. Like I encourage people to yell stuff at me. And so if it's just a one-way thing, we're just going to play the songs. It's not the same. Whereas I think people tune into Death Angel live because they want to, there doesn't need to be too much interaction. Although Mark does a good job of that. And it's a tradition in San Francisco, your Christmas show. So it makes sense for you guys to do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. I mean, the first Christmas show virtually, because all our Christmas shows have been awesome. It's not only, one thing about our Christmas show, we always bust out tracks that we don't normally play on tour, and it's more like for the Bay Area because that's where it all starts. You know what I mean?
Right.
And as you know, it's we play a Beatles song every year, and we play a cover tune, and we'll play some tracks like whoa, ooh, those tracks. Like okay, we're gonna go for it, and it's mainly the crowd. It's like it's all about the fans, man. We got people flying in from parts of the world, so it's we kind of decorate the stage, decorate the club, and the club that we've been throwing it at closed down. Slim's closed down, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like
I didn't know that.
Yeah. From what I heard, they're opening up into like when things open up, it's gonna be one of those disco EDM places or something. I don't know.
Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, our Christmas show, it's all about the vibe of the crowd. You know what I mean? So we kind of like we'll give them something that we don't normally do on regular tours. So but it's happening December 19th and 20th this year. If anyone wants to check it out, which I think you should, it's tickets are on sale at our website, deathangel.us. And I'm hoping Danko does something live because I watch your videos live. It's cool, man. But I get what you mean about the interaction with the crowd.
Yeah, if someone in the crowd shows up with a funny hat, I'm gonna bust on them. Like that kind of stuff. But I saw last week. I actually watched a stream of Obituary do "Slowly We Rot," and it was killer, man. It was killer.
I saw it too. And speaking of, I'm gonna watch Cause of Death today after our stream
at 5, right? 5. Well,
5 your time,
5 my time,
2:00 my time, which is coming to a close to our to our awesome conversation here, which I want to do a shout out. Obituary is going on at 5 p.m. Eastern time for all you viewers. Check it out because Slowly We Rot was awesome. You know what I mean? And my friend Carlos Cruz, who plays in Warbringer. He plays in a jazz fusion band called Ohm with Chris Poland. They have a live stream tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's the drummer that did Orion with me. That playthrough.
Oh, wow.
He plays with Chris Poland in Ohm jazz fusion.
So there's a band called Ohm from one of the dudes in Sleep. Is that the same band?
No, it's a different band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're playing. So I'm gonna check that out after Obituary.
Wow,
And
that sounds. I love Chris Poland's.
yeah, you
playing,
got to
man.
check it out, dude. You got to check it out, man.
Wow.
I've seen some bits. Chris Poland still got it, dude. That dude still got it. And he
don't doubt it.
re-released Metropolis, his album.
I want to get that, man. See, that's the kind of thing I'd like to get on vinyl. Like, I'll get that on vinyl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So check it out. He re-released and with some tracks that, Carlos plays on. So I got to get it. You got to check it out. So those are the 2 live streams I'm going to check out. But Danko, thank you for chatting with me today, dude.
Thank you, man. I was able to get out all my Death Angel-esque stuff, get it out of my system. I love it.
And I was able to get out all my Danko stuff playing your videos that, Had Enough is my favorite. That album, Below the Belt, is incredible. If anyone wants to check out Danko Jones, go to his website, dankojones.com. All the info's there if you want to follow him on all the socials. Check out his songs, man. Good rock and roll. Check out his book, I've Got Something to Say. It's a good read. It's a really good read. I suggest everyone gets it. Danko, hang out for a bit after. And I want to thank everyone who checked the stream out. And, Danko, you're my second non-metal dude. I'm glad to have you on. Totally.
I'm happy to be here. I enjoyed it. I love it.
Yeah, dude. I enjoyed it too. Everyone, have a good Saturday. And I'm taking Halloween off because I want to take Halloween off. But I have 2 special guests coming up in the month of November that everyone's going to be tripping off. So thanks, everyone. Have a good Saturday. Danko, hang out real quick. See you guys alive and streaming. We're out of here.
Woo!